morning, everyone. I call the Drainage District Board of Directors Board meeting to order. We'll start with a roll call to establish quorum.
Good morning, David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Everardo Villarreal, Precinct 3.
Richard Cortez, County Judge, that constitutes a quorum of 3. Mr. Sassoon, would you
Yes,
please
sir.
lead us in this morning's prayer?
I certainly will. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, everyone. Let's say a word of prayer this morning. Father God, we continue to ask you to fill our cities, county, state, and national political leaders with wisdom, understanding, discernment, knowledge, forgiveness, faithfulness, humility, and dignity. We thank you for the men and women who serve our community in leadership roles, Father God, and we also give thanks for their families. Continue to grant them peace when their work takes them away from their families. We continue to pray for our judge and 4 commissioners you've appointed to lead this great county of ours. We pray for our mayors, school board members, city council, police chiefs, district attorneys, sheriff, judges, and all who serve our local communities. Grant them abundant wisdom, favor, increase their faith, and prepare them to pursue your excellence. Strengthen them with integrity and character to act righteously. Continue to draw them to you and cause them to know and fulfill your purposes. Continue to place people in their paths that will provide scriptural, sound, and godly counsel, for without your counsel, their plans will go awry. Provide them daily reminders of why they decided to dedicate their lives to public service, Father God, and use that commitment to encourage them. Continue to deal with our leaders by keeping their hearts and motives pure. And we continue to ask you to make their hearts pliable, willing, and obedient to your will. Cause each of their lives to glorify your name. Father God, in Luke 6:36-38, your word tells us, be merciful just as your Father is merciful. Stop judging, you will not be judged. Stop condemning, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and gifts will be given to you, a good measure, packaged together, shaken down, and overflowing, will be poured into your lap. For the measure which you measure will in return be measured out to you. Father God, you are the merciful giver of gifts. We recognize our need for your mercy. Open our hearts and quiet our minds so we may be able to receive the graces which you so generously give us. May we experience your grace, your goodness, and your generosity today and always. Let us experience your love more deeply so that you can make us more your instrument to share your love with all. Help us to not judge or condemn others, and by your grace may we extend love, mercy, and grace to those whom we have been struggling to forgive. Scripture reminds us the more we seek you, the more we will find you. May we continue to seek you in everything we do, and we always work as we're working for you. We ask all this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Next, we have open forum. Did anybody sign up for open forum?
No, sir.
Okay. Then we'll go to the approval of the consent agenda.
Yes, sir. Approve consent agenda, check register, and items that have been vetted by my AC 81 team. Everything's in order, Judge, but we do have some items that we're going to pull from consent.
Judge, Commissioners, I'd like to pull from Drainage District Consent Agenda items 3A, 1 through 6, 4A, 4B1, and 5A.
Motion to approve the balance of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Judge, Commissioners, for the record, with respect to consent agenda item 3A, 1 through 6, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and or action. If we could have a motion.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let the record show that Commissioner Fuentes abstained from any discussion or action on this item.
Thank you. Consent agenda item 4A for the Drainage District, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and or action.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let the record show Commissioner Fuentes abstained from any discussion or action on this item.
Thank you. Consent agenda item 4B1, Commissioner Villarreal will be abstaining from any discussion and or action.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let the record show that Commissioner Villarreal abstained from any discussion or action on this item.
Thank you. And consent agenda item 5A3 for the Drainage District, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and or action.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let the record show Commissioner Fuentes abstained from any discussion or action on this item.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you,
Item
Judge. Thank you,
five.
Valde. Yes, sir. Discussion and update by AC 81 General Manager relates to pending this construction and AC 81 projects. Just for the board and the general public, Commissioner Fuentes in March 10th testified at the Senate Committee on Water, Culture, and Rural Affairs regarding our the water bill and regarding our Delta Reclamation Project and trying to, the focus was really about the water shortage and what's happening statewide. And however, we had an opportunity to speak about our project, which is a water producing project. So it was well received, and recently Senate Bill 1967 was filed, which has the information about our project, and we're trying to seek. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that a little bit.
Thank you, Raul. Yes, we went up there to advocate for our area and to address a potential solution for the drought that we're experiencing and the water shortages that we might have. We believe that this project, the Delta Reclamation Project, or the Reclamation Project as a whole, would be able to serve, up to 250,000 people at the end of the day. So that's almost a fourth of the county's population. So this is a worthwhile effort for us to go up there and to continue to advocate for this project and to try to get it to qualify under rules for the Water Development Board to approve this project, eligible for financing and such. So I just want to thank Raul and his staff, our consultants that are assisting us throughout this entire process, and also to the board here for their support in advancing this project as we have so far. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We want to thank you for your leadership, both of you. on this
Yes,
very
sir.
important project.
Thank you, Judge. And then just for the benefit of the board and the public, we are presenting at the South Texas All Hazard Conference, which is March 26th, 27th next week. So we invite the elected officials and the public to attend. It's always a great conference. You get good information regarding hazards and response and things of that nature. So it's great. We're excited to be a part of it again this year. And then we do have a rainbow drain workshop scheduled for April 3rd from 11:30 to 1 p.m. We'll serve lunch for the board and talk about the project. May cover some other projects as well. The focus will be on that project itself and where we're at regarding our feasibility and then the path forward for the project. So,
Is Ellie going to have door prizes for us?
maybe. Good morning, sir. Maybe.
I thought we were going to have Lena barbecue.
It'll be a surprise. We'll see. Okay, that's all I have for this morning, Judge, if I may. Okay, 6A, discussion consideration alternative detention requirements for new subdivisions. Judge, Commissioners, we have been getting some requests regarding detention requirements or drainage requirements in subdivisions, particularly outside the city limits or in the rural area. And we wanted to make this quick presentation. Ms. Yvette actually prepared the presentation. I don't know if, Ed, if you want to come. I'll make it, but just in case questions. She leads the development department, I guess you could say, of the drainage district. So some of the questions that come up are regarding how do we manage subdivisions in the ETJ or rural area where there's not a drainage system nearby, right? So a lot of the times we require some type of extension, and the rules are very clear. Anything in the rural area, you have to extend to the nearest outfall, but it may not be feasible, or there may not be anything near that you can make an extension that you can actually physically do it. So
This is a huge problem.
yes, it's definitely a challenge that we have. So there's areas in the county where we have detention that could be created and then bled into maybe adjacent systems that are available, like a TxDOT system or something of that nature. So, the drainage policy that we have is 50-year detention, meaning that any improvements that get done, you have to retain the water difference between the 10 to 50 year, which is a good amount. It's what most of the cities do, and the drainage district oversees that as well. So, currently in the cities, we do require on-site detention when you're inside the city limits with a bleeder. And that's what we advocate for, and most cities follow that. We also look at the pond maintenance, and that's something that the city oversees inside the cities, and then the storm drain detention out into the nearest into the pond required. Subdivision ETJ and county detention is required by the drainage district. Normally, we do an adjacent ditch widening to accommodate the additional volume, because in the county, it's very difficult to enforce and maintain on-site detention if it's a public system. We don't have the capability. I know the precincts are challenged as it is, so it's very difficult to do that. So we do linear detention adjacent to a system or nearby system, and that's how we accommodate the additional water. And you know, those are the easy ones. The more challenging ones are the ones where there is no outfall. So, Yvette, if you want to talk about the two options, an alternate, I'll turn it over to her.
So in trying to determine, you know, how can we provide drainage and meet the intent of our detention requirements to subdivisions that are further away from the city limits? So we looked at two different options that we're presenting and would like to discuss, and we're open to suggestions on these. The first one was to allow detention ponds. As Mr. Sassine mentioned, right now, detention ponds are allowed if you're inside a city limit, not if you're in the ETJ or county. And so by allowing the detention ponds, that would provide a way to hold water and release at a slow rate. And so we're meeting that intent, especially in areas that don't have drainage nearby that they can easily outfall to. So the first one would be you would need to meet the HCDD1 requirements for maintenance of those detention ponds, which include constructing an outfall for a future connection. So in case there is a storm line that's connected or there is a ditch that was constructed nearby, we're able to drain out that detention pond. The next is to include a 15-foot wide maintenance road along the top of the detention pond so that there is still access to it and maintenance is able to be done to the ponds. Sometimes in private detention ponds, they leave 5 feet, and you really can't get equipment in there to do mowing and those types of things. And so we're recommending a 15-foot maintenance road around it. Also to be located near an exterior perimeter road, so not be hidden in the back of the subdivision. That's really difficult to get through. And if maintenance does need to be done and is not done, something happens in the future, it's easily accessible. And the next is to include a pilot channel similar to how we're doing our drainage ditches, so that water low flow is carried in the pilot channel, but it doesn't become a marsh, swampy area that's really difficult to maintain the bottom of it. So when it rains, it does fill up, but when it's low flow, small rain events, only the pilot channel will, hold water, and it will allow the upper layer detention bench to stay dry. So that's one alternative. The second alternative is to provide roadside swells, and we're recommending this in subdivisions and we would require lots to be greater than 1 acre for this option. So under that alternative, or under that scenario, the subdivisions, as I mentioned, we would allow roadside swells to carry the detention volume instead of having a pond. The lots would need to be 1 acre or greater. The road right-of-way would be increased to provide that area for the swell, so they still have to meet the requirements, the county requirements for the roadway. The roadway right-of-way would be a little bit wider, and then those swells could be done within the roadways. And they would need to establish a private street subdivision with an HOA, recording deed at the county, similar to how other cities do it. And so that way it provides a maintenance mechanism. And we're recommending this for subdivisions that are 20 lots or less. Again, all of this is subject to discussion, but this is what we were considering, especially looking at the subdivisions that have been coming forward for approval. Then the last caveat, for both of these options, we're also requiring the following. They would need to establish a private street subdivision with an HOA, that's mentioned for one, didn't mention for the other, but it applies for both. They would need to include plat notes referencing the HOA recording information for maintenance. The proximity to the drain ditch. So what we're saying is the subdivisions must be more than a mile from a drain ditch in order to qualify for this. Proximity to the city limit, we're looking at subdivisions that are more than a mile from the city limits. And we're only considering areas that do not have historic flooding and are not in low-lying areas, because in those instances where we have seen historic flooding, we do need to address the drainage situation there and not give or not increase the situation by having more lots in that area that don't have an outfall. We would require an engineered drainage plan, just as we do now for subdivisions, and they must meet all other county requirements for subdivisions. So that's what we're looking at, and again, open for discussion, but those are our considerations.
It's long overdue. I thank you for that.
Yes,
Have you all discussed it or had any public hearings or discussed it with developers?
We have not had any type of deep discussions, but we've been getting requests from the development community regarding how do we address these challenges where there's no outfall. So, we have to maintain a balance, Judge, right? We want to continue to grow, but we also want people to live in an area where we're not gonna adversely impact them with drainage and so forth. So we believe these requirements, I think, will be well received by the development community. I don't see it being a challenge. We took a lot of the experience that we have, 25 years, myself and Yvette, probably the same, and McAllen, everything, to look at how development has been going and lessons learned from other decisions that we've made and applications. So we feel comfortable with this approach, and obviously still open for feedback. We would still come back with your direction from the board and look at this. We would get with planning as well, since this is an engineering-driven type of approach for drainage. We'll get with planning to get that implemented as well.
But there's no other solution
Sir?
other than the engineering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So we feel comfortable about it. I mean, I think the main thing, if I may, the main thing is keeping it private, sir, because what we don't want, we have 700+ miles and counting, right, as we continue to develop more projects. So, we can't go in there and be maintaining little detention areas. I know the district cannot. I know your challenge is at the county level with all the road improvements and everything that you have going. It's very challenging for you to go in there and do this. So it has to be a private, recorded prior to the plat, similar to like cities do, where you put the actual covenant and the document number and everything with the restrictions. We have to go through legal with that to help us develop that. But it basically puts everybody on notice who the responsible party is for that detention area and what the consequences will be if it's not maintained. And that's similar to what cities do. So, yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I have a question. So what happens if an HOA falls through? Because I've
Right.
seen HOAs that are dissolved
Sure.
and.
And that's where legal's gonna come in and help us draft that language that gets those requirements in place. And, that's the challenging part, right? That's the question that I ask as well. If it falls through, what do we do? So that's why we're wanting some feedback, and that's what we're presenting to the board. That's why we haven't made the decision with this information. There's some of the things that we can get with legal and see what avenues we have to address that, because that could be a situation. I know when it becomes a private street and everything, those tend to stay intact. What we don't want is somebody saying, I'm gonna do this so I can circumvent, and then in a year I default. That's what we don't want, right? Those are the things that we're looking
How
at.
do cities deal with maintaining these ponds?
So, from my experience with McAllen, the HOAs, there have been limited number of HOAs that have defaulted, and it becomes up the property owner's responsibility to come together and do that maintenance. But for the most part, the HOAs.
What legal action does the city have that we don't have to enforce something like that, do you know?
I'm not aware,
Okay.
no, sir.
And we would get with Ivan and the team to look at all those options, Judge. And before we move forward, we'll present that.
Yeah, because that
again.
is a big issue.
Yes, sir. We'll address that. That's the only thing that we're looking at, the challenge in that. But we get a lot of requests, so we're trying to continue the growth that we have.
So Raul and I had a meeting with a developer this last week and proposed or discussed this as potential resolution to the issue they were having, and they were very willing to do what we were going to
Great.
ask them to do. But
No,
I want to just say something about alternate two. When you're saying that the road right-of-way increases, I would consider that there's a few things to keep in mind with that. One is the potential to build sidewalks at some point in the future. In the rural area, mobility is an important part of quality of life that we seem to always forget
Yes.
to include. The other thing is that we sometimes take a minimum amount of right-of-way, and people put brush
Yes, sir.
or they put
Yes,
debris
sir.
in the
Yes, sir.
in the bar ditches because there's
Yes,
nowhere
sir.
else to go.
Yes.
So a lot of times, like if we have a disaster declaration and people are cleaning up their area, whether it's a private pickup or a public pickup of debris, they put it in those swales, and if we happen to get a rain event, it's gonna impede that water flow. So consider maybe taking or requesting a little bit more. I know that that's an inconvenience to property owners, but in the sake of trying to keep
Yes, sir.
good, positive flow, we need to consider that extra space that might be necessary for mobility and or for brush pickup.
Yes, sir, we'll definitely consider that. So with that
Sorry to
direction,
interrupt,
we'll start working to get something formalized with planning and through legal. And come back and keep the board updated on where we're going with this.
Thank you.
Okay?
And if you met with Anthony in the planning department?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, he was part of that meeting we
Yeah.
had.
Okay,
And they
good.
were all
Yeah.
on the same page.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Yvette.
You need any action on this one?
Well, it's just a consideration for the alternative. I mean, the direction's been given. My understanding is to proceed as presented, just vet those little details that we talk about, the homeowners and, through legal and try to shore that up as best as possible with legal support.
Thank you.
Correct? Yes, okay. Thank you. Item 6B1, approval of the Alcoa County Drainage District 1 2025 investment policy. So this is an investment policy that we do yearly, and it's the same mirrored policy that we have with the county. For the record, we do have Deep Blue Investment Advisors, Texas Fit, First Public Lone Star Investment Pool, Mishler Financial Group, Mutual Securities, Inc., PFM Asset Management LLC, Texas Range, Rainbow James and Associates, Inc., Cresta Advisors, FHN Financial Capital Markets, Lone Star National Bank, Multi-Bank Securities, Inc., Pershing LLC, Plains Capital Bank, and Texas Class. So any questions? If not, I have Mr. Truk here, my accounting director, to answer any questions the board may have regarding our policy.
It mirrors the county.
It does mirror the county, sir, correct? Yes, yes, sir, it does.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 6B2, I don't know if you want abundant of caution, I know you like to do that. Because P2 is the Lone Star,
Yes,
yes.
yes. So 6B,
I guess all of them, B1, 2, and 3,
1, 2, and 3 on the investment policy, yes.
even though
Commissioner-
Well,
Commissioner's not here.
Cantu's not here.
Commissioner
Anybody
Cantu
else?
is not here, but
That's it.
in case he is online
Yeah,
or on the
no
phone,
participation.
he would be abstaining, yes.
Okay,
For any
thank
discussion
you,
or action.
Violet, appreciate it. B2, approval authorization broker and SEC registered investment advisors, and B3, approval of order with board member vote. So I guess we'll take B2 first, Judge, and then you'll do the order vote after that.
Say that again?
6B2, take action on 6B2,
So
sir.
moved. So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And 6B3, approval of order with board member vote, correct, Ivan?
You can do a roll call vote on this one, Judge.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna approve by individual member vote.
That's correct.
May I have a
Aye.
A or nay?
Need
Aye.
a motion first. Need the motion
On 3 or,
on 3.
okay,
To
so,
approve?
Second.
All in favor?
aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you, Judge. Item 6C, approval of budget amendment in the Special Revenue Fund 123 in the amount of 3.4924.28 for the Restore Act Subreceiver Reimbursement Contract Number 582-2122-344 between Dow County District 1, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality for continued restoration of the Rainbow Drain Project Phase 2, subject to legal review.
So
Motion
moved.
to approve?
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. I'll handle 6D 1 through 3. Possible action to grant, 1, possible action to grant release of encroachment right-of-way pertaining to requests made by landowner Argola Las Granjas LLC and authorize execution of the same by the chairman, subject to final review. 6D2, possible action to grant partial release for easement right-of-way pertaining to requests made by landowner Alisana de Lima LLC and authorize execution of the same by the chairman, subject to final review. And 6D3, possible action to grant partial release of easement right-of-way pertaining to requests made by landowner Valley Alliance LLC and authorize execution of the same chairman, subject to final review.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
6E, requesting approval change order number 3, reflecting an increase in amount of $54,353.60 for project 365 total off-site drainage improvement project outfall 234, contract number CACG 123042B0416 with RBM Contracts LLC as recommended project engineer BDC Engineering.
Judge, Commissioners, for the record, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and/or action on this item.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Let the record shows Commissioner Fuentes abstain from any discussion or action on this item.
7A, requesting approval of change of work authorization 21 to provide construction material testing and construction management inspection service for a total of 887.17 as submitted by VDC Engineering LLC for Anacuitas Drainage Improvement Phase 2, 2018 bond referendum project number 8, contract number CA-CDD 1-23-036-0725, subject to final review and compliance, House Bill 1295.
Judge, Commissioners, for the record, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and/or action on this item.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let
Thank-
the record show Commissioner Fuentes abstained from any discussion or action on this item.
7B, request for approval of supplemental agreement number 7, the professional engineering service agreement, into the work session number 1 with Cruz Hogan Consulting Inc. for the project Highway 281 FM 88, 2018 bond referendum project number 14, contract CA-CDD 1-19-020-0423, reflecting revised Exhibit D work schedule with extended termination date of June 16, 2025, subject to final review and compliance, House Bill 1295.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
7C1, approve out of acceptance certificate of substantial completion, certificate of construction completion from Morwood LLC pertaining to construction contract CHD 123-0490-220, Mile 4, Minnesota, project engineering, Sagira Engineering. C2, approve application number, approve application final in the amount of $101,206.72 and $158.83 of interest from Morwood LLC pertaining to construction contract C HDD 123-0490-220, Mile 4, Minnesota Road Project. And item C3, approve application payment number 14 in the amount of $78,463 from RG Enterprises LLC, DBA G&G Contractors pertaining to construction contract C HDD 120-0340-811 Jackson Drain Phase 1, project engineer Katina Helene Associates. C 1, 2, and 3, Judge.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, 6C, 4,
Judge, Commissioner.
7C4.
Yes, Judge, Commissioners, for the record, on this next item, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and/or action.
Thank you. Approval application permit number 1, the amount 179-14503 for Memorial LLC pertaining to construction contract C, HCD 124-055-1112, Southwest Wesco, Phase 3.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let the record show Commissioner Fuentes abstained from any discussion or action on this item.
Thank you, sir. 8A1, approve application permit number 2 in the amount of 1112464 from RDH Side Concrete pertaining to construction contract CA CDD 124-034-0806. Item 8A2, approve application permit number 10 in the amount of 342-584.30 from RG Enterprise LLC, DBA G&G Contractors pertaining to construction contract CA CDD 123-053-1031 South Main Drain Phase 1. 8A3, approve application permit number 4 in the amount $217,372.50 from Synergy Development Construction pertaining to construction contract CACD 124-032-0709. 8A4, approve application payment number 2 in the amount of $68,259.96 from Clore LLC pertaining to construction contract CACD 124-056-1029 PHA Drain Phase 3. Judge, 8A1 through 4.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, for the record, on this next agenda item, 8A5, for the record, Commissioner Villarreal will be abstaining from any discussion and/or action.
8A5, approve application permit number 2 in the amount of $108,264.37 from 3E Logistics of Texas pertaining to construction contract C HDD 124-047-0917 Alamo Expressway Drain Phase 2.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let the record show Commissioner Villarreal abstained from any discussion or action on this item.
Thank you, Judge. 9A, requesting approval of purchase the following tractor and shredders through the Dow County District 1 membership participation with Buy Board awarded vendor Deere and Company contract 706-23 for the total amount of $984,431.86.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Item B1, requesting approval to purchase the following heavy equipment through Dow County District 1 membership participation with Sourcewell Cooperative Award vendor Holt CAT contract number 011723 CAT in the total amount 996000. That's a typo, sir. I apologize. 996000 is the total amount. The Caterpillar excavator is 424. The two Caterpillar dozers is 572 the total. So the total is 996000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Aggie made the math or what?
Well,
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion
it
carries.
wasn't a Crimson Tide one, so let's just say that. I like it. Auburn, yes, Auburn math is much better.
Somebody from Notre Dame, correct?
War Eagle. B2, pursuant to board's approval of the purchase of heavy equipment requesting declare surplus with the purpose of trade-in and requesting approval to remove the following from the district asset list once transaction is complete. EX 40-215 Doosan DX 530 LC, asset number 1827. EX 41-2015 Doosan DX 490 LC 5, asset number 1865-16. DS, those are 18 2009 CAT DC D6NXL, asset number 1725. And those are 19 2009 John Deere 750J, asset number 1799.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Sir, we do not have anything today for
Okay.
executive.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion made?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Thank you.
We are adjourned.
Raul, can you just stick around?
Sheriff, I'm sorry I was picking on the Aggies. It was just for fun, okay?
He's got a gun, sir. It's okay, we still
We're
like
full of them in here. Well, I guess we can get started. Okay, well, I want to call the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting to order. We'll start with a roll call to establish quorum.
Good morning, David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Ellie Torres, precinct 4.
Rich Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum of 3. We have Commissioner Gadot will come in just a moment. As is customary, we're very proud to have a U.S. Marine veteran, Gerardo Zamora. He lives in Mission, Texas. He served in the U.S. Marine Corps in 1994 to 2002. He reached the rank of corporal. He is the Chief Deputy with Hidalgo County Constable, Precinct 3 office. Will you please lead us in today's pledge?
Good morning. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and thank you for your service.
Thank
Today,
you.
we're also proud to have the Honorable Judge Ramon Segovia. He's the Justice of the Peace for Precinct 3, Place 1. Judge, would you please lead us in today's prayer?
Morning, Judge and Commissioners. Yes, sir. Heavenly Father, we come before you with grateful hearts, thankful for the blessings you've given us. Today we ask for your wisdom and guidance for our leaders as they work together in service for others. Grant them discernment and integrity as they make decisions that impact our communities. Watch over our military, first responders, and all who dedicate their lives to protecting and serving others. Fill them with strength, courage, and compassion. Bless all those in attendance today. May they be guided by your wisdom, strengthened by your grace, and filled with peace. May we all strive for fairness, understanding, and unity, reflecting your love in all we do. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Judge. We have the approval of the consent agenda.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Judge Commissioners, I'd like to pull from the consent agenda items, the following items: 7A1 and 2, 13B1, 13C6, 13C9, 13D1, 13D4 and 5, 13E1, and 13M8.
Motion to approve the balance of the budget.
Second.
Agenda.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners. Now, with respect to the consent agenda items that I had, that I requested to be pulled, I'm gonna ask the court to take them all as a whole, but for the record, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and/or action on the items as a whole, which are consent agenda items 7A1 and 2, 13B1, 13C6, 13C9, 13D1, 13D4 and 5, 13E1, and 13M8.
May I have a motion for the balance?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Let the record show that Commissioner Fuentes abstained from any discussion or action on these items.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we're very proud to have the proclamation of Medal of Honor. Valor, please come forward.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing us to be here today. It gives me great honor to come before you today on this occasion. As y'all know, here shortly in a couple of weeks, I've had the honor and the privilege of being the sheriff of this great county for the past 11 years. One of the greatest assets that your sheriff's office has is almost the 900 individuals that work there at your sheriff's office. And today, we're going to recognize the heroic actions of one of our deputies. And I want to ask Captain Aaron Moreno to read a proclamation before you, and then I will read the citation for the Medal of Valor. We also have joining us today also is the fire chief of the McAllen Fire Department and also the police chief of McAllen PD, Victor Rodriguez. So I'm going to ask Captain Moreno to read the proclamation before you all. Captain? Deputy Aleman, come up here, please. Also, the victim in this case would also like to address the court and the deputy.
Absolutely.
With your permission. Mr. Pablo Arredondo.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Proclamation for the Medal of Valor for the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Deputy Mike Aleman. Whereas on Saturday, the 22nd day of February 2025, at about 10:20 p.m., a mobile home became fully engulfed in flames, posing an immediate and life-threatening danger to its occupant in the city of McAllen, Hidalgo County, Texas. And whereas Sheriff Deputy Mike Aleman of the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, while off duty and on his way home, after completing his tour of duty, observed the scene of this devastating fire. And whereas, upon arrival, Deputy Aleman quickly assessed the situation and took action upon being notified by bystanders that the mobile home was occupied by a disabled elderly male. And whereas, acting with exceptional courage and selfless dedication to the preservation of life, Deputy Aleman entered the fully engulfed mobile home with no regard for his own personal safety. And whereas, with extraordinary strength and determination, Deputy Aleman extracted the elderly male from the fire, pulling him out of danger to safety. And whereas, the swift and heroic actions of Deputy Aleman undoubtedly saved the life of the elderly male, preventing a tragic loss. And whereas, Deputy Aleman's unwavering commitment to service and protection of the community, demonstrated by his extraordinary act of valor, reflects the highest ideals of a deputy sheriff. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Hidalgo County Sheriff J.E. Eddie Guerra does hereby recognize and commend Deputy Aleman for his conspicuous gallantry and extraordinary heroism. Deputy Aleman's selfless actions, performed at a great personal peril, exemplify the true meaning of courage and are deserving of the highest honor. Be it further resolved that Deputy Aleman is hereby awarded the Medal of Valor for his exceptional bravery and unwavering dedication to the safety and well-being of the citizens of the County of Hidalgo and the great state of Texas.
With your permission, if y'all would approve this.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I'll now present Deputy Aleman with the Medal of Valor. And the citation reads, presented to Senior Deputy Mike Daniel Aleman for the conspicuous gallantry and extraordinary heroism in the saving of a human life on February 22nd, 2025, by entering a mobile home engulfed in flames and facing an unsafe situation and significant risk to his own personal safety. Deputy Aliman demonstrated heroism and valor in the face of danger and selfless service in keeping with the finest tradition in law enforcement to serve and protect, reflecting great credit upon himself and the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, awarded this 18th day of March 2025.
You want to get the chiefs from McAllen over here?
They got presentation for me. They have a presentation by the fire chief, if we can bring Colin up.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning, everybody. My name is Juan Gloria, City of McAllen Fire Chief, and I want to thank you all for the opportunity. Sheriff Guerra, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Chief Rodriguez, thank you for being here with us during this moment. And, well, let's get to what's important. You know, symbolically here, on behalf of the McAllen Fire Department, we have this small statue and token of recognition for Deputy Aliman for his actions on that day. And it reads as follows: McAllen Fire Department Meritorious Action Award, Senior Deputy Mike Aliman. On February 22nd, 2025, while off duty, Senior Deputy Mike Aliman rescued a man from a burning mobile home in McAllen, Texas. His courageous actions undoubtedly saved a life. And so on that night, even though it was late, as first responders, we know that, you know, our personnel, same goes for us. We need to get up, you know, whatever time of the day may be. And I gave a call to Sheriff Guerra to let him know what had just happened, and you know, let him know that absolutely, you know, one of his deputies saved a life, you know, that day in the city of McAllen. And so we thank you for that. We want to give you this as a, you know, recognition for your actions. It is a figure of a firefighter carrying a child, which is symbolic of saving a life. Sorry, I couldn't find a law enforcement officer, you know, coming out of a fire. But here we're submitting his application for the fire department. It's been processed. So just joking. But no, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much, sir. I'm glad that you're doing okay. I'm glad, and you're here because of Deputy Aliman. So thank you very much.
Okay.
First of all, I want to say thank y'all for acknowledging with his courage. He did save my life. I've led a very, how can I say it, dangerous life. I've done things I shouldn't do, and I was doing better, but this happened, and thank God that he was passing by. My daughter thanks him, and my 5 grandkids thank him. My family too, the rest of my family. I just want to say thank you. God bless you.
anybody on the uniform that wanted to come and join the picture, please come forward.
You know, every proclamation is special, but this was very special. Okay. I think we can go to open forum.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioners. Let me just wait about 10 more
Okay,
seconds here.
we'll wait a little bit.
Yes. Judge, Commissioners, we do,
Okay, so we can get,
thank you, Judge. With respect to item 6, open forum, we do have quite a few participants, but we have in groupings. But first of all, I'd like to remind the public that they're always welcome to participate in public forum. They need to be familiar with the rules of decorum, which prohibit direct and indirect personal attacks on members of the court or any county individuals. The comments made should also pertain to county business and cannot be threatening in nature. As a group,
Buenos días. Quisiera recordar al público que siempre serán bienvenidos a participar en el foro abierto. Para hacerlo necesitarán estar familiarizados con el reglamento, el cual prohíbe los ataques directos o indirectos hacia miembros de la Corte o individuos del condado. Los comentarios también deberán ser relacionados con los negocios o asuntos del condado y sin ningún tipo de amenazas. Gracias.
And as a group, with respect to open forum, there is a 3-minute time limit. Okay? I will advise when there is 1 minute left, okay? And then I will start whenever the presenter starts with respect to the 3 minutes.
Para los comentarios abiertos en grupos también hay un límite de 3 minutos. Yo le voy a hacer una seña cuando les quede 1 minuto restante y también voy a empezar el cronómetro o a contar el tiempo cuando el orador empiece a hablar. Gracias.
So we do have for subject matter is lighting. We have Saret Garcia, Lucia Lara, and Thelma Cibriano.
¿Puedo empezar? Sí. Buenos días, señores comisionados y juez Cortés. Estoy aquí porque soy organizadora de la Unión del Pueblo Entero y desde hace 2 años pude trabajar con varias comunidades o varias colonias y las cuales me siento muy orgullosa porque una de ellas es Southern Breeze, que pensé que iba a ser muy difícil por la cantidad de casas, mis torres, ¿verdad? ¿Se acuerdan? Y fue una de las que trabajé muy a gusto, en primer lugar porque los vecinos y digo mis vecinos porque hace como 20, 25 años viví yo ahí en Southern Breeze, en el área de San Carlos. Que no sabía, cuando yo llegué ahí a vivir, no sabía que era un área muy, muy pobre. Toda la familia que ahorita que recorrimos ya son gente mayor, menos ustedes, y eran agricultores, voceros del distrito de Edinburgh. Y pues ustedes ya saben los pasos, ¿verdad?, que se hace, ¿verdad?, las firmas y se les entrega a los comisionados. Pero aquí como yo digo que fue más que luz física, fue luz que les dimos a las personas porque hubo gente, y eso me siento muy orgullosa porque la primera que me ayudó fue mi ex suegra, luego otra persona que se sentía perdida porque su esposo le había quitado todo y la casa también. Y le doy también las gracias a Joe, porque él fue el que siempre le estábamos dando mucho lata, así de que otra vez revisa las firmas. Estos no son las personas de las que son los dueños de los terrenos. Y así, en una de ellas, y eso es... perdón. Y en una de esas... pudimos recuperar hasta casas y la señora esta había sido muy debatida, pensó que iba a perder su casa y no, logramos que se hiciera dueña de su casa y cosas así muy, muy personales. Así es que yo creo que la luz, bueno, también hubo un incendio donde muy fuerte en Southern Breeze que fue un año antes y no pudieron salvarse una persona porque los bomberos no encontraron el lugar y la persona falleció. Pero después de que ustedes pusieron la luz, lo primero que recibí yo fue una llamada diciéndome gracias por toda la ayuda, dígale gracias a la señora Eli Torres. Y bueno, las experiencias aquí están, pero el trabajo fue duro en el cierto momento porque... La mitad de la colonia, eso siempre, no creía que les íbamos a poner la luz. Y la otra estaba muy animada. pero gracias a Dios aquí están los resultados y Miss Torres, gracias a su equipo también por siempre proporcionarnos la ayuda, y creo que es un trabajo entre equipo que nosotros debemos de tener con ustedes los comisionados. Gracias, Miss Torres. Gracias, juez. Gracias.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I am very happy to be here as an organizer from La Lupe. I've been an organizer for La Lupe for more than 2 years, and I've been able to work with communities, and I was part of Southern Breeze community. The neighbors there thought it was going to be very difficult because of the number. There was too many houses there, and I say my neighbors because I used to live there more than 25 years ago in the San Carlos area. Of course, you know all the stages that we needed to do in order to get here, the signature collection and all of that. But I want to tell you that you didn't only give them physical light, but we illuminated their lives. We also want to thank Joe as well. There was a lady there at the neighborhood or at the colonia who thought that she was going to lose her house, but we were able to help her and keep it. There was also a fire there a year ago, and unfortunately a person lost his life because the firefighters were not able to find the house. But now we are very happy with the work done there and the public lighting. So thank you, Commissioner Eli Torres. We believe this is a teamwork between you and us, so we would like to keep moving forward. So thank you, all of you.
Buenos días, señor juez. Buenos días, comisionados. Estoy representando a la colonia Sunrise para agradecer a la Unión del Pueblo entero y a ustedes comisionados por el alumbrado público. Ahora que ya tenemos nuestras calles con iluminación, sentimos más seguridad para salir a caminar, hacer actividades en familia, mirar las lámparas en las calles. Es un sueño hecho realidad. Muchas gracias por el apoyo para este proyecto que se hizo realidad. Gracias, comisionada, por el apoyo y muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Estamos muy agradecidos porque nos sentimos bien seguros. Y mirar toda la iluminación, mis calles, es una confianza para salir a la calle. Gracias.
Oh, sorry.
So good morning, Commissioners, County Judge. This is one of our members from La Unión del Pueblo Entero. She's representing her colonia, Southern Breeze, to thank you for installing the public lights. She is very happy with the results. She's thanking Commissioner Eli Torres. She feels very safe walking outside now. And so, they just wanted to say thanks today to Commissioner for working with us and with their neighborhood residents to make this room a reality. Thank you.
Muy buenos días, mi nombre es Telma Cibrián, de la colonia Southern Breeze. Estamos muy contentos por la luz que tenemos en las calles y en nuestra colonia. Hace mucho tiempo que esperábamos esto. Muchas gracias, comisionado Eli. Gracias. Gracias a todos los jueces.
Alrighty, good morning. My name is Telma Cibrián from the Colonia Southern Breeze. We are very happy for the public lights that we now have in our streets in the Colonia. It was long time due, Thank you so much, Commissioner Eli Torres.
Quería nada más agregar algo. Pues esta colonia tenía 40 años sin luz y ya poblada, pero todavía nos falta es una colonia bien grande, pero hay 3 subdivisiones, la Tex-Mex, la Southern Breeze y la San Carlos Acres. Y acuérdese que, por favor, le pido que estas personas de San Carlos Acres también quieren su luz y son gente mayor. Ahí estamos, por favor, se lo encargo. Gracias, que Dios los bendiga. Gracias.
I'm sorry?
Are you going to call the name of who's next? Or?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Sareth spoke, Lucia and Thelma spoke? Okay. So we have now, the next group is, I believe it's with Lupe as well, is Joaquin Garcia.
Yes. Yes.
And Tanya Chavez, as well as Michael Mireles, all on the same subject.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, good morning, County Judge, County Commissioners. My name is Joaquin Garcia, and I'm the Director of Organizing for La Unión del Pueblo Entero Lupe in San Juan, Texas. Going over the agenda, yesterday, we saw that Hidalgo County wants to apply for Operation Lone Star funds for fiscal year 25-26. We don't know what the reasons are for this application. This came as a surprise since we at Lupe have been advocating for the termination of Operation Lone Star here in the state of Texas for the past 3 years. In fact, in 2021, when this Operation Lone Star first began, Lupe was one of the first organizations here in the Valley to launch an online petition calling for the county judges of Star, Hidalgo, and Cameron to not sign on to the emergency declaration that Governor Abbott was promoting in order to continue his criminalization of our immigrant community here in the state of Texas. Operation Lone Star has done nothing but waste taxpayers' money on militarizing our border, detaining immigrants, having hundreds of Texas State Troopers, National Guard members, and other agencies, even Florida State Patrols, patrolling our border. This is by far one of the most expensive operations that this state has ever launched. And this operation, unfortunately, does nothing to fix our broken immigration system that for decades has forced thousands of people to find alternative ways to migrate to this country in search of a better life. What is even more surprising is that this county would want to receive funds from an operation that has wasted, I should say, more than $11 billion in the past 3 years, as I mentioned earlier, to militarize, detain, and criminalize our immigrant communities. We have worked with Hidalgo County for many years, and what the lady just spoke is a result of those collaborations with you all. And we want to keep collaborating to make infrastructure projects possible. And unfortunately, accepting funds from this operation could result in constituents having concerns or fear of what the state will require the county to do in order to receive these funds in the near future. In closing, I want you all to reconsider the decision to seek funds from this operation and instead look for alternative funds that will provide Hidalgo County with what you all need and that would benefit all the residents that call Hidalgo County home. Thank you.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Tanya Chavez, and I serve as the President and Executive Director for both Lupe and Lupe Votes. Here in the Rio Grande Valley, Texans, most of us want our kids, nieces, and nephews to grow up with opportunities to thrive. No matter their race or their zip code, across Texas colonias, our kids have been impacted by the lack of adequate infrastructure in these neighborhoods. Our tax dollars should be spent on helping our kids and families provide a dignified way of life, investing in improving infrastructure in the colonias. But today, the Commissioner's Court, you are considering to misuse our tax dollars on a program called Operation Lone Star. That simply does not work, while ignoring our local communities' urgent needs. The program wastes $25 million each week, and we're counting. Let's be clear, the situation at the border is very difficult. However, Operation Lone Star is not the answer. Yet, the state officials are providing and misleading, incomplete information to paint a false picture of the program's effectiveness. What should you do? Our county should refuse to participate in Operation Lone Star and direct local tax dollars towards a solution that can help our communities thrive, like lighting all the colonias at once instead of one by one, more parks in the neighborhoods, and basic paved roads and sidewalks. How can you make a difference? Our fates are linked. We can come together to protect the interests of every resident in Hidalgo County, including the most vulnerable among us. We urge you to not be complicit with Governor Abbott as he tries to criminalize border communities by voting against to applying and receiving Operation Lone Star funding. Let me remind you that this same court in 2021 opposed taking Operation Lone Star funding. I hope that you stand by your prior actions.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. I just wanted to, my name is Michael Mireles. I'm with Lupe. I'm sure you know my stance on the matter. But I just wanted to say that I think it's important to think about the larger picture of what these funds are designed to do. It's not just a blank check where we get money to invest in law enforcement. We're signing a declaration of emergency for the county. If you look at the activity that's gone on in the state, Abbott has increasingly made it harder for counties to not respond to the activities that ICE is doing. In the Texas legislature, there are a number of bills where representatives are asking for counties to have very strict agreements with ICE, with DPS, and with Border Patrol. It sounds great to have the money again, but think about what's happened in Eagle Pass, where it's become a militarized zone. Folks cannot access that park anymore in the state of Texas. Here in Hidalgo, Gloria Anzaldúa Park, I used to love going to that park. I can't go there anymore because Border Patrol is always closing it to the public. It makes me really sad to think that we're allowing the governor to say that Hidalgo County is unsafe, that Hidalgo County is in a state of emergency when it's not. Honestly, I don't see why we would do this, and I would hope that everybody here could put the best interests of the folks who actually live here and not just the folks up in Austin who are saying whatever they want about what this region looks like or what it is. Thank you.
Thank you. And I do believe we still have Ramona Casa or Lupita Sanchez.
Buenos días. Aquí estamos nuevamente. Mi nombre es Ramona Casas de la organización Arraiza Adelante y enterándonos del interés de la Corte del Condado de Hidalgo en aplicar para estos fondos. Verdaderamente nos preocupa, es que eso no es la solución que necesitamos. Al igual que lo han mencionado las otras organizaciones, nosotros como organización sirviendo por 37 años en las colonias, lo que vemos es mucha necesidad. Tenemos mucha necesidad del transporte público, seguir alumbrando muchas colonias que nos falta, pero no tan solo eso, también necesitamos la colección de la basura, un buen sistema, necesitamos una buena calidad de agua que no tenemos, y pavimentación y muchas otras cosas más. Pero aplicar para estos fondos de operación Estrella Solitaria lo que va a hacer es aumentar esa inseguridad de nuestras comunidades, y esa no es la solución. Lo que se necesita es trabajar con el sistema que está quebrantado para dar una mejor solución a los problemas. Pero Operación Lone Star con fondos para el condado, no creemos que esa es la solución. Queremos pedirle que lo reconsideren, y ya la comunidad está muy afectada con las situaciones que están pasando ahorita. No se necesita más. Y ustedes a lo mejor pueden ver qué manera tener otros fondos, pero no aceptar de Operación Lone Star, que eso no ayuda y no beneficia a nuestras comunidades. Gracias por escucharnos.
Buenos días. Gracias por permitirnos estar haciendo estos comentarios públicos que afectan mucho a nuestra comunidad. Mi nombre es Lupita Sánchez, soy directora ejecutiva de Trabajadores Fronterizos Unidos, Border Workers United. Estoy haciendo este comentario en español porque el 92% de sus constituyentes, su primera lengua es el español y tienen el derecho de escuchar y de entender por qué estamos aquí abogando por estos derechos. Estamos, como ya lo mencionaron mis compañeros anteriormente, en contra de la autorización y la aprobación de la solicitud de la subvención de Estrella Solitaria o la operación Estrella Solitaria por su año fiscal 2026. Esta política es una política inconstitucional que no cumple con el objetivo principal de prevenir y detectar y desmantelar actividades criminales en los puertos de entrada. Esto se debería de enfocar en detener drogas mortales como el fentanilo a la entrada de los Estados Unidos, que mata a mucha gente y ustedes se saben estas estadísticas mejor que yo. Se concentra 10 veces más en reducir la entrada al cruce de personas ilegales, entre comillas, porque nadie es ilegal en ningún lado. Fomenta la discriminación, arresta a personas con delitos menores en lugar de enfocarse en delitos relacionados con drogas. Es inconsistente a lo largo de las agencias que implementan esta política inconstitucional y se ha expandido más allá de las fronteras. No debería ser la iniciativa principal de Operación Lone Star. Debería, en lugar de enfocarse en estas cosas, aparte de no pedir fondos, lo que quisiéramos es que no afecte directamente a nuestra economía, porque si se siguen aprobando los fondos para Operación Lone Star, nosotros no tenemos la distribución que las comunidades necesitan. Ustedes no tienen la distribución de los fondos como las personas lo necesitan en sus condados. Esta distribución no debería de afectar el presupuesto federal y menos fondos esenciales para la salud que se necesitan en las comunidades, como la cobertura médica. Los fondos deberían de ser concentrados en mejorar los hospitales y escuchar y las escuelas públicas y mejorar, como ya mencionaron nuestros compañeros, la infraestructura en las comunidades o en las colonias a los que ustedes sirven. Inicialmente a esta reunión ustedes hicieron una presentación súper importante de lo que es salvaguardar y proteger a las comunidades. Salvaguardar y proteger a la ciudad es como el héroe que presentaron ustedes esta mañana, que decide salvar la vida de la comunidad, no de afectar las vidas de los que viven aquí y a los cuales ustedes sirven. Respetuosamente, no estamos de acuerdo en que pidan fondos para el LOES. Gracias.
First, my name is Ramona Casas. I come from the organization Arise, and I've been part of this organization serving the community for more than 32 years. And in these years, I have learned the needs of the community. They are in great need of improving their trash collection system, improving their water quality, public lighting as well. And we are here to tell you that we do not agree, or we are against the application for Lone Star funds, because we know that that is not the answer. That will not solve the problem. We need to fix the broken system, and we kindly ask you to reconsider your application. And then, good morning, my name is Lupita Sanchez, and I make these comments in Spanish because 92% of your constituents are Spanish speakers, and they deserve to hear these words in their first language. We're here to let you know that we are against your application for funds from Operation Lone Star for fiscal year 2026. This is an unconstitutional policy that does not comply with the principal objective of protecting and keeping safe the constituents and preventing criminal activities like the illegal entry of drugs and deadly drugs like fentanyl. This will affect directly our economy. And we would like you to use these funds in other things like improving and building new hospitals, public schools, and we are against the application for funds of Operation Lone Star. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Our last presenter is Ms. Fern McClarity. Ms. Fern?
And I wish you would explain before you start my time that we have an interpreter, and I am thankful that he did finally do the last two. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been watching the Trump administration reduce the U.S. budget by simply cutting activities. Talk about cutting spending. Trump is saying we are not doing that anymore because it is not the best interest of the people. In fiscal year 2023, the U.S. spent $6.16 trillion on public programs and generated $4.47 trillion in revenue. My interest is based on the similarities between the U.S. budget and the county budget. For we establish a tax rate, then we establish rates for other services, then we vote for the appraisal district board, and then our properties start increasing in value, so we pay more taxes. The entire taxing process is designed to keep taking more from our population who cannot keep pace with the increasing cost of living created by local governments. From the 2022 to 2024, the county property tax rate increased by 34.2%, and the inflation rate for this county is 20.5% based on the 2021 cost. The debt service on the county debt is $33 million. I see that we're hiring more consultants that will be kept on perpetual retainers. And this court has created another emergency ambulance district, taxing district. And isn't it interesting? Do we already have the emergency ambulance services up and working? Because you certainly are already collecting the taxes from the rural residents. And as I recall, the county purchased several ambulances. Are these in service in the county, and where? My comparison of the U.S. and Hidalgo County budgets intended to highlight the difficulty of limiting spending and the fact that it takes a very special leader to place the interest of the people above of getting reelected. Trump has terminated USAID and 50% of the Department of Education staff. How much funding was the USAID? $1.9 billion in budgetary resources, and now there is 0% in the 2025 U.S. federal budget. And how much do they anticipate on this agency to spend? $265.11 million. And I'd also like to ask everyone to still keep praying for Israel and the hostages. And I would like to thank President Trump for closing our border, for keeping the citizens of Hidalgo County and the state of Texas safe. Men approach women at Walmart parking lot and HEB. I've had it happen several times, and they want money. And I'm sorry, ladies are not safe, and we do need our sheriff. We need y'all to take care and make sure that the safety of the citizens are still safe. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We have no other presenters, Judge.
Monday?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to go to item 7A, economic development. Randy?
All right. Randy, before we start, for the record, we do have a public participation form from Ms. Fern McClarity on item 7A. Go ahead.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Randy Perez here, presenting economic development. Item 7A, AI 98754, discussing consideration and possible approval of the creation of the Hidalgo County Economic Development Promotion and Advertisement Program as authorized under Section 381.004, Section B4 of the Texas Local Government Code. The county declares that the development of the program shall serve to promote and advertise the county in the vicinity of the conduct and solicit programs to attract convention visitors and businesses, and has determined that such program would improve the growth, sustainability, diversity, and local economy, and thereby contribute to long-term prosperity in the county and its citizens.
Ms. Fern?
I also read the backup on here, and we're just wondering, I mean, we're growing in leaps and bounds, and we were wondering how much this is actually going to cost the taxpayers, because it says for the purpose of stimulating business and commercial activity in the county. I don't know if you've driven through the county lately, but business are popping up everywhere. So we're just trying to see how much is going to be spent for this and how much do you anticipate that the taxpayers and the businesses will collect.
Mr. Pettis?
I recommend approval.
Staff recommends approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
7B, AI 98771. Item 1 is discussion, consideration, and approval of the Hidalgo County Economic Development State of the County Initiative under the Hidalgo County Economic Development Promotions and Advertising Program as authorized under Section 381.004, Section B4 of the Texas Local Government Code. This initiative is designed to develop and promote the advertising initiative for the benefits of the county residents, focusing on promotion of economic development in Hidalgo County.
So moved.
Second.
I'll call the question in a minute. The company bought 1,050 acres on North Edinburgh to really build a campus to really provide employment and work for a smart worker, not a cheap worker. And what we're trying to do is to bring the right modern businesses here, those that will train the workforce so they can earn more money. And if that is not a good use of your money, then I'll quit this job because I think that our future is in front of us. And if we're going to be competitive with the rest of the parts of the state of Texas, they need to know who we are, and what we can do together, and that takes a little effort on our part. So I'm going to call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next time.
Mr. Pettis?
Yes.
For the record, on item 7B2, Judge Cortez will be abstaining from any discussion and/or action on this next item. Mr. Pettis?
Yes, 7B2, discussion, consideration, possible approval of the 2025 service agreement between Hidalgo County and Realplex, Inc. The service agreement, the initiative primary focus shall be the promotion of infrastructure improvements, governance efficiency, and demographics on the emphasis of promoting Hidalgo County and the vicinity of the investment and economic development. Staff recommends approval.
Motion to approve?
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
And the judge abstained, correct?
Yes, yes. And for the record, Judge Cortez did abstain from any discussion and/or action.
Next item.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Belinda Alvarez with Emergency Management. Agenda item 8A, ratification of the submission, authorization, and approval to apply for fiscal year 2026 Operation Lone Star Grant with the Office of the Governor Homeland Security Division through e-grants for the period of September 1, 2025 to August 31, 2026.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item number 2, approval of resolutions for the fiscal year 2026 Operation Lone Star Application Grant to designate County Judge Richard F. Cortez as grantee's authorized official and to sign required documents.
You do realize that this money is for emergency management, not for the sheriff's department, right? If you look at the agenda, it's for emergency management. I make a
Yes,
motion
sir.
to approve item 8A2.
Second.
Item number 3, authorization and approval for
They
the
didn't call
county.
for a vote.
All in
My
favor
apologies.
say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Number 3, authorization and approval for the county judge as authorized official to certify and e-sign the applications form and related documents under e-grants.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Agenda item 8B, requesting approval of the certification of revenue by the county auditor for the OEM GLO Local Hazard Mitigation Plan grant in the amount of $100,000 and appropriation of the same.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 9A.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Rosalinda Cantu presenting for the District Attorney's Office. Item 9A. Number 1 is approval of the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services grant contract HHS 0015827. Also asking for approval of the Title 4E grant budget for October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. Also asking for approval for the county judge to sign the following documents: the contract, the budget, and the Federal Accountability and Transparency Act form. Also and signature authority designation form and the assurances.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 9B, the District Attorney's LEOSC grant. We're asking for approval of certification of revenues by the county auditor for the 2025 LEOSC allocation to the District Attorney's Office in the total amount of $2,931.59 from the State Comptroller, and approval to appropriate the same.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
HIDA Task Force, item 10A, requesting approval to ratify action taken, Commissioners Court, March 4th, 2025, to correct grant period from 3/4/2025 through 9/30/2025 to 10/1/2024 through 9/30/2025 for funding agreement from the Federal Bureau of Investigations for fiscal year 2025, including approval to pay straight time instead of banking extra duty hours from October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2025 to FBI TFO assigned from the Hidalgo County DA's office.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 10B, discussion, consideration, and approval to submit the 5-part SF 424 application form related to the ONDCP High Intensity Drug Trafficking Areas Program fiscal year 2026, HIDA with authority for county judge to sign required documentation. Application includes the following: the SF 424 general application, SF 424A budget information, non-construction programs, SF 424A GG lobbying form, SF 424B assurances, non-construction programs, and the SF 424 disclosure of lobbying activities.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item, 11A.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Captain Rocky Serna presenting on behalf of Sheriff J.E. Arriera. 11A, authorization and approval of renewal of memorandum of understanding between the U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement and Removal Operations, San Antonio Field Office, Portisville Detention Center, and the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office with regard to certain emergency situations. Authorization for County Sheriff to sign documents. Seeking approval.
Motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
11B, authorization and approval to purchase 4 cell phone lines addition through the county membership participation with contract DIR TLELE CTSA 002 with AT&T. 2, authorization and approval to activate the following cell phone plan: basic unlimited voice data, the text service for 4 cell phone at a monthly rate of $40.99. Seeking approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
11C, Sheriff's Leo's Fund. Approval and certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for the 2025 Leo's allocation payment of $93,514.81 received from the State Comptroller of Public Accounts. 2, approval of budget amendment to appropriate the 2025 Leo's allocation in the amount of $93,514.81. Seeking approval.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 12A, Human Resources.
Good morning, Erika Reina for the Department of Human Resources. Item 12A, I'm requesting a waiver of the following if applicable. For the personnel items listed, I need action item number 3, the budget amendment policy, personnel related amendments.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12B is approval to appoint Melina Santana, a student at Denver University, as an intern under the Hidalgo County Domestic Relations Office for the period of March 24th, 2025 through August 20th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12C for Precinct 2, approval to create 6 temporary part-time positions beginning May 19th, 2025 through August 10th, 2025. The positions to be created are slot T069, a head lifeguard with an hourly rate of $17 per hour, T070 through T072, lifeguard at $14 per hour, and T073 through T074, attendant at $14 per hour. This is our annual item for the Aquiles Jaime Garza Park. I do recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12D for the District Attorney's Office, approval to award a discretionary step for the employees listed below in accordance with HR criteria certification as per section 8.03 of the Classification and Compensation Plan effective upon Commissioner's Court approval. The actions are discretionary step 5 for slot 0179 and Assistant District Attorney 3 at grade 5, discretionary step 4 for slot 0149, Assistant District Attorney 2 at a grade 3, and discretionary step 3 for slot 0208, Assistant District Attorney 2 at a grade 3. This does meet policy requirements. I do recommend approval.
So moved.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12E for the Health Department from the Public Health Infrastructure Grant. Approve the following action effective the next full pay period, March 24, 2025. The action is to create slot 0011, a System Support Specialist 1 at a grade 9. I do recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Item 12F for the jail, approve to extend the following full-time temporary positions beginning April the 8th, 2025 through December 31st, 2025 as follows. The slots being extended are T530 through T534 detention officers at a rank 1. Again, this is our annual item. I do recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12G for Facilities Management, approve the following action effective upon Commissioner's Court approval. The action is a title change for slot 0056 from Maintenance 3 title to Crew Leader 1. There is no fiscal impact to this item. I do recommend approval.
So moved.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12H for JP Precinct 3, Place 2, approve the following actions effective upon Commissioner's Court approval. The action is to delete slot 0003, an Assistant Court Coordinator at a grade 9, and to create slot 0010, a Clerk 4 at a grade 7. This item does result in a savings to the county. It is being requested by the Justice of the Peace, and I do recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12I for the Child Protective Court, approve the following action effective upon Commissioner's Court approval. The action is to create slot 0002, an Administrative Assistant 3 at a grade 8. This is a position that previously existed within the court. It is necessary at this time, and I do recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12J for Precinct 2 from Road and Bridge, approve the following action effective upon Commissioner's Court approval. The action is to create slot 0133, an Equipment Operator 2 at a grade 8. I recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you,
Have a
Erica.
great day. Thank you.
Urban County. Dr. Loretta.
Good morning, Joel Rivera with the Urban County Program. Agenda item 13A is for public hearings, Judge.
Are they Dr. Rivera, are they individual, they're individual public hearings, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. I now declare the public hearing to hear public comments regarding the revision of the Hidalgo County Urban County Program Citizen Participation Plan. Is anyone here to address us regarding that matter? Hearing none, I now declare the public hearing closed.
Agenda item, would you like to take the second one, Judge? The 13A,
Okay,
or have you done both of them?
I now declare the public hearing to consider public comments regarding the Urban Counties Programs Fiscal Year 2025 Annual Action Plan. Is anyone here to address us regarding that matter? Hearing none, I now declare the public hearing closed.
Dr. Rivera, if I may indulge you for about 30 seconds. Item, for the record, item 13B, 1, 2, and 3. Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and/or action.
Thank you.
Dr. Rivera?
13B1, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code 262.024A4 for professional engineering services. Requesting approval.
Motion to approve?
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Let the record show Commissioner Fuentes abstain from any discussion or action on this item.
Agenda item 13B2, presentation of scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Hidalgo County Commissioners Court of at least 3 engineering service firms from the county's approved pool as graded and evaluated by the Urban County Program and the Hidalgo County Purchasing Department in connection with and funded through Hidalgo County Urban County Program Year 2024 City of Palmview Street Improvements Funds, ranking as listed.
Motion to approve?
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Agenda item 13B3, discussion and consideration and action requesting authority to negotiate a professional engineering service contract with the #1 ranked firm of B2Z Engineering LLC for the provision of surveying and engineering services for Hidalgo County Urban County Program Year 2024 City of Palmview Street Improvements Project. Recommended approval.
Motion to approve?
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Item 14A, Health and Human Services.
Ms. Irene?
Morning, yes, sir.
30 seconds, please. Item 14A for the Health and Human Services Department, there is a public participation form from Ms. Fern McClarity. Ms. McClarity?
Yes, we had a question. Where will these vaccines be given out? And are they at our clinics in the county or what? And I said I would ask.
Ms. D?
So these are, this one in particular that we will be having is at the Mexican consulate in McAllen. But if we are approached by any other foreign consulates, we'll go ahead and do them at the consulates there as well. May I proceed?
Can she continue? Yes.
Okay. Item 14A, requesting approval to conduct immunization clinics at the consulates quarterly between March 18, 2025 to December 31st, 2025 at no cost to the attendees. Requesting approval.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, requesting approval of the Tdap coupon that allows Tdap vaccines at no cost to expecting WIC clients to be effective April 1st, 2025. Requesting approval.
So move.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C, requesting approval to submit the grant renewal application for the TB State and TB Federal FY 2026 programs. The award amounts are $916,443 with a local match of $183,289 for the TB State program and $427,128 the local match of $85,431 for the TB Federal program. Requesting approval.
Motion to approve?
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item D, requesting approval of the certification of revenues by the county auditor in the amount of $256,701.40 for the Medicaid Administrative Claiming Program for the quarter of April to June 2024 and the appropriation of the same. Requesting approval.
So move.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14E is requesting approval to accept and for county judge to e-sign the immunization locals HHS 0013313000042, amendment number 3, and all related contract documents. Requesting approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14F, 1, discussion, consideration, approval to draw down funds for demonstration year 7, UC redistribution payment and IGT in the amounts to be determined by HHSC instructions from the local provider participation fund with a transfer date of March 18, 2025 and a settlement date of March 19, 2025. Requesting approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, approval of the certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor from the LPPF in the amount to be determined by HHSC. Final instructions. Requesting approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C, approval of appropriation of funds from the LPPF in the amount to be determined by HHSC. Final instructions. Requesting approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Community Service Agency, Jaime.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 15A is discussion, consideration, and possible action to accept the notice of funding opportunity for the AmeriCorps Senior Companion Program application ID 25SC 271358 for the fiscal year 2025. The federal award would be $557,534. The state award is $6,791, and the county match would be $56,000. Funding period would be to begin July 1st, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 15B is discussion, consideration, and possible action to accept the notice of funding opportunity for the AmeriCorps Foster Grandparents Program. Application ID 25SF 271338 for fiscal year 2025. The federal award would be $317,806. The state award is $5,792, and the county match would be $45,000. The funding period would be to begin July 1st, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 15C is discussion, consideration, and possible action to accept the highest ranking evaluation proposal, the scoring results from Air Diffusion Services, and award the contract to Cent Air for the Hidalgo County Community Service Agency. An authorization for Jaime Longoria to sign the contract for air diffusion services with Cent Air.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 15D is discussion, consideration, and possible action to accept amendment number 1 to fiscal year 2025 Community Services Block Grant Program, contract number 6125-0004355 in the amount, I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
In the amount of $931,625 from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, with authorization for Jaime Longoria to electronically sign any and all pertinent documents.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Jaime.
Thank you,
Item
Judge. Thank you,
16A.
Commissioners.
Judge, Commissioners, with your permission and on behalf of the WIC program, item 16A is requesting approval to submit the data use agreement, security and privacy inquiry form, and requesting for the county judge to sign the agreement. This is part of the fiscal year 26 through 30 WIC agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 17A, Auditor's Office.
And Judge, Commissioners, on behalf of the Auditor's Office and with your permission, they're requesting approval to submit the pro rata tobacco settlement distribution county expenditure statement for 2025 to the Department of State Health Services and authorize the county judge to execute the report.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 18A, Commissioner Torres.
Good morning, Judge. Commissioners, Belinda Reyes with Precinct 4. Item 18A, item 98692, requesting approval to name a 20-foot private road access easement that runs along and between a portion of Share 88, San Salvador del Tule Grant, Hidalgo County, Texas, as per map recorded in Volume 10, pages 58 through 60, map records of Hidalgo County, Texas, as Swain Palm Service Road.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 18B, requesting approval to name a private 20-foot private road access easement along and between all of Lot 477, amended map of John H. Sherry subdivision, Hidalgo County, Texas, as per the map or plat thereof recorded in Volume 0, page 17, map records of Hidalgo County, Texas, as Solis Service Road, as approved by 911 Services Division.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 19, budget and management.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Lalo Soto, Director of Budget and Management. Item 19A, 1, approval of the Title IV-E Child Welfare Service Grant budget for beginning October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. And 2, approval for county judge to sign the following documents. A, the budget. B, the Federal Funding Accountability and Transparency Act form. C, signature authority designation form. And for the record, another form, D, assurance forms. I recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 19B, requesting to rescind action of the certification of revenues presented under agenda item 98519, Part A. This is as requested by the County Auditor's Office. I'll recommend approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 19C, and for the record, there's a change to the transfer amount. Approval to transfer, the correct amount will be $90,492.64 to the Urban County to fund ineligible expenses related to administrative costs of several grants. The missing attached, you will see a list of 3 grants, but there was an additional grant, the Texas General Land Office grant of $22,463.49 that was also ineligible. So that made the revised amount, again, I'll repeat, for $90,492.64.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. These were actually matching funds that were not available as part of the grant.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Item 19D, General and Special Revenue Fund leases for 1, approval of certification of revenues as certified by county auditor to fund lease expenditures, and 2, approval of 2024 appropriation of revenues and expenditures to fund these expenditures. This is as requested by the county auditor's office, and this is for year-end reporting purposes for GASB 87, I'm sorry, GASB 87.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 19E1, requesting approval of budget revisions as per Exhibit A on the ARPA fund. Recommend approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 19F1, approval of certification of revenues by county auditor in the amount of $200,045.10 in relation to labor reimbursement received from the Raymondville Drainage Project and appropriation of same.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
19F2, approval of 2025 appropriation of funds from the unassigned fund balance for the supplemental court guardianship fund in the amount of $7,000 to fund legal services expenses.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And lastly, item 19F3, approval of 2024 certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for various projects and appropriation of same. And that amount is $96,500. I'll see in your backup. Recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you,
Thank you.
Donald.
Mr. Amezcua, Judge Commissioners, for the record, there is a public participation form from Ms. Firma Clarity on agenda item 20A1.
And they just had not heard of this company, Real Consultant. They were wondering where they were from. I looked up and one was from Australia or somewhere. So could you explain who they are, where are they from?
Eddie Lucio Jr., Brownsville, Texas.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Amezcua? Mr. Amezcua, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Good morning, Judge, Commissioner, Mr. Guerra, Mr. Garza. For the record, Ignacio Mezco from the Purchasing Department. Agenda item 20A for County Judge's Office. 1A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.024A for a personal or professional service.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
B, acceptance and approval of a personal service agreement with Real Consultants for consulting services related to research and development of the legislative agenda and general county affairs, subject to final legal review and approval. Staff recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
20B for emergency management. 1, requesting authority to cease negotiation with the number 1 round firm, Kimber 1985 LLC, as previously approved by Commissioner's Court, and to reject bids received for Hidalgo County Remote Operations Centers, ELSA, due to budget constraints. Staff recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
2, requesting authority to cease negotiation with the number 1 round firm, Kimber 1985 LLC, as previously approved on Commissioner's Court, and to reject bids received for Hidalgo County Remote Operations Centers mission due to budget constraints. Staff recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20C for Precinct 1, requesting approval to purchase gym flooring, graphics, and installation service through Hidalgo County's membership with Bible Purchasing. From Rubber Flooring Systems, DBA RFS Sport, in the total amount of $262,549.51. Staff recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20D for Precinct 2, requesting approval of warranty max price amendment provided by RGB Construction, LLC, construction management for McAllen Health Center Improvement Project in the amount of $1,936,119.62 with authority to issue notice to proceed upon receipt of the required payment and performance bonds. Staff recommend approval.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
2, requesting approval to award job order contractor SKOLE Repair to Hidalgo County membership with tips for the Achilles Jaime Garza Park project in the total amount of $83,081.94 with authority to issue notice to proceed upon the receipt of the required payment bonds. Staff recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20E for Precinct 3, requesting authority to reject proposal received for lease of land for dry solar farming. Staff recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
2, requesting authority to enter into an interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County and the Texas General Land Office and Veterans Land Board for Hidalgo County Precinct 3 to perform road resurfacing work at the Rio Grande Valley State Veterans Cemetery in Mission. Staff recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20F for IT Department, requesting approval to purchase Wi-Fi annual file maintenance service for Hidalgo County IT Department through Hidalgo County Chip with Omnia Partners from Inside Police Sector for a total amount of $530,081. Staff recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Amezcua,
20.
Judge Commissioners, we do have a public participation form on the next item for CSA from Ms. Fern McClarity.
Yes, this one floored me. The rent, I believe, or lease, has gone up more than $9,450. I believe in the last 4 years, back in 22 up to 25. For 48 months, we were paying $13,500 a month. That would equal to $648,000 is what we paid. Now, they've gone up from $13,500 to $22,950. And if you do that for a month, it's $275,400. And the question was, if it's the same period of time, the 4 years, that's over $1 million. Actually, $1,101,600 for 4 years. And I know that the county's been buying a lot of property, and that's what the gentleman that called said, can't y'all find a building we can either buy, because y'all are very good at that, I mean, all over, that would save the taxpayers money on this building. This one is an old building, and I'm sorry, $22,950. Bad enough that it was $13,500.
Why don't you hire Farn to go find you the building that you couldn't find, Valdez?
Well, if y'all would have done that with the other buildings, I could have helped with the elections, with the building north of town, I mean, and.
So, Ms. Fern, if I may answer, I can't speak with respect to the math that you just spoke about, since I didn't do that math. But this is, again, for CSA, and this court has been actively seeking a location for CSA.
Yes, and you keep getting buildings and giving it to others, and when it's this expensive and going up for the as old as that building
You've made
is.
your comment. 135 is super cheap. You can look anywhere you want. 135 is going to be really cheap. We are looking for buildings. We've bought a lot of buildings at over like around $100 a foot when it's costing $300 to $350 to build new buildings. So we're doing our part. We don't have a building for them. All the buildings we bought, you've seen what they've been used for. But 135, you can say it as many times as you want, is super cheap.
Okay, going up $9,000
We had the choice
is.
we had the choice to pay that or not have the program. We chose to have the program.
Can we vote on this yet, or?
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And so and for the record, the agenda item that was just acted on was the
G1.
lease agreement for CSA. G1. Mr. Mesqua, H1 for tax office.
Thank you, Mr. Guerra. 20H1, for the record, this agenda item is for the precinct number 3. Requesting approval to enter into 1-year interlocal cooperation agreement between Hidalgo County and City of Peñitas to assist one other in multiple projects with equipment, materials, and manpower. Staff recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20I for Sheriff's Office, 1, requesting approval to work on contract to Calera, DBA Rio Grande Valley Mobile X-rays to qualify sole responsibility for radiologic diagnostic and related mobile services for inmates. Staff recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
2A, pursuant to Texas Local Government Chapter 263.151, 2BCD, and 263.152A2, requesting action to declare asset as listed in the asset disposition list as surplus for the purpose of disposition for use as trade-ins toward the acquisition of new handguns, including the removal of said assets from the department inventory list. Staff recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
B, requesting approval to purchase and trade in handguns through Hidalgo County's membership with Purchasing Cooperative of America from BOTAC in the total amount of $319,054.90. Staff recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
3, requesting approval to purchase breaching leatherhead tools through Hidalgo County membership with PCA from BOTAC in the total amount of $56,994. Staff recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
20J for County Wide, 1, requesting approval to award contract to Terra Firma Materials, the qualified lowest responding bidder for line, road materials, and services. Staff recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you. Have a blessing day.
Thank you, Nacho.
Judge Commissioners, with your permission, 21A, there is no action to be taken or discussion with respect to A2, 3, and 4. 21A, new courthouse project updates. We are gearing up, as we have now for a bit, with respect to the transition over to the new courthouse, so that operations may begin. I believe it will be March 31st, which is a Monday. So, but we'll be working the rest of this week, the weekend, and all of the following week in anticipation for that beginning start date. And just very quickly, I want to say that we appreciate all the help that we have had, especially from the Sheriff's Office with respect to this transition. There is a lot that goes into moving from one facility, especially the size and the number of departments and court staff, county clerk, district clerk, and all the county courts of law, district courts, and all the ancillary departments associated with those departments. So the Sheriff's Office has been instrumental with respect to the orderly transition, as well as Mr. Villarreal and his fine staff that are tasked with that move in working with those respective departments and their personnel. Thank you. For the record, we do have a public participation form from Ms. Fern McClarty on item 21B. Ms. McClarty?
The only thing that I did, I was trying to look up your Exhibit A, and last night at 10:46 p.m., it still wasn't there.
Right, and we're going to get that form, yes. I acknowledge that Exhibit B is not on there right now. All right, it will be up. Judge Commissioners, 21B is discussion, consideration, action on interlocal cooperation agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of Edinburgh, Texas concerning certain striping improvements to Edinburgh Downtown Square, South Highway 107, and U.S. Business 281. We do recommend approval. Oh, and it's subject, my apologies, subject to final legal review.
So move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Judge, we do have closed session.
Okay, pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, we'll be retiring to closed session to discuss items listed under sections 551, .071, .072, .074, and .087. I have a motion to do so.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I have 11:37 a.m. Okay, we're back from closed session. I've got 12:24 p.m. We do have some action items.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioners. Item, let me go, I'm sorry. Go to the agenda here. Lord. Okay, so under open session 24A, real estate acquisition appropriation for sale, no specific action or discussion to be taken. 24B, pending under potential litigation, no specific action or discussion to be had. 24C, cause number CL 250819-I, Billion Dollar Group LLC versus County of Hidalgo. Will proceed as, there's no action to be taken on that particular matter. Item 24D, cause number C 1156-24-C, Margarita Sanchez et al. Versus County of Hidalgo, will proceed as directed and as discussed in closed session.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
24E, cause number 051524C, Santos Higinio Serrano Montalvo versus County of Hidalgo. There's no action to be taken at this time. For the record, item 23A, there's no action to be taken. 23B, there's no action to be taken. 25, no action, so there's no need to go back to close. And 26, the companion open, there's no action to be taken. We have adjournment.
We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.